Simplify your life. Here's a great tip. What if you could act on all of the correct and good things you already know instead of trying to, well, let me address that part first. What I'm telling you is that you watching me right now, you already know the right way. In many ways, you have all the knowledge of the world. In many ways, you know all of what is good and what is bad. The challenge is not being aware of what is good and bad. The challenge is executing on what is good and bad, what is right and wrong on a regular basis. You ever heard someone say, "Oh man, I got drunk. Oh man, I'm never going to do this again." Right? They knew before they got drunk they'd have a hangover. Then they lied and said they never do it again, and then they did it again the next weekend. You already know much of what is good and bad, what is right and wrong. If you could actually get yourself to abide by the good knowledge that you have, you would simplify your life and you would advance greatly. It is a matter of discipline. That is your issue, the issue of discipline. You delude yourself and believe that you must constantly be on the pursuit of new knowledge, new good information, new correct information. No. I challenge, you must only do what is right that you already know is right. In some cases, there are things you do not know. For example, the Master Communicator course, you guys are not master communicators for the most part. There's a lot of things you don't know that you would have to get through experience, that I've got through experience that you probably won't ever be able to get. So yeah, you have to get that. That's new knowledge. But most of what you're dealing with in terms of the things that are adversely affecting your life, you already know the right answer. But will you do it? That's precisely why one of my great efforts is to put you among one another in real life on the ground. Why? Because birds of a feather flock together. You're around honorable, upright men, you're going to do the right things. You're around men who are not honorable, not upright, you're going to do the wrong things, okay? You will be influenced. Let me give you guys a real life example. And I first want to say that I do pray for Fresh, I pray for Myron, I pray for the Tates, because I want to see all these men who are in good positions continue to succeed and be happy, but most importantly, spread goodness, okay? I was not even recently, maybe 2 weeks ago, if I'm remembering correctly, I saw Fresh and Fit on with the Tates, and I saw them smoking cigars, Fresh and Myron. I don't know, I'm pretty sure they were smoking. I saw them definitely holding it. I didn't watch long enough, but they were holding cigars, so presumably they were smoking cigars. If I'm in error, someone please do correct me. But when I saw that, I cut it off, and I was going to make salah, I was going to make prayer, and I made sure that I made a dua for them. I made a prayer for those brothers that they would stay pure and stay away from vices and bad things, because sometimes people make things look good that are not good. Smoking a cigarette is not a good thing. Smoking a cigar is not a good thing. It will hurt you. And I made a prayer for those brothers that they would stay clean and stay pure and not be influenced by bad things, or not be wrapped up by a fast life or by a wealthy life with the negative aspects of those things. It saddens me to see a great man yield to something small or something weak, like cigars or the need to look cool. You'll see many persons online, they have cigars because they're not inherently strong. They don't feel inherently masculine. And they don't feel like a killer inside. And so they use all these tools, these props, to make themselves look masculine, make themselves look strong, because they don't feel it in here where it counts. So you never have seen me with a cigar, a cigarette, or anything like this, and you never will. And I have some dumb Arab broads. One dumb Arab broad in Dubai was telling me that she does hookah, and immediately I was like, you're done, because that's stupid. You're done here. But I pray for those brothers. I really do, for the Tates and for Fresh and Fit, because I want them all to be free of these kinds of things, because they're hurtful. It might look cool in some way, some sick way. It doesn't look cool to me, but it's going to hurt you. And these are great men. These are influential men. And, there's a difference between when one of these gentlemen will smoke a cigar and like a random guy out in the world will smoke a cigar. There's young men who admire these guys who are watching. And so your vice is multiplied. You see, it is one thing for you to engage in a dirty act or a low act by yourself in privacy. It's yet another thing to engage in this act when people are watching you and you're an influential man. If you're a great man, you do have a burden that you carry. It is the burden to know that you are a teacher, and we ought not teach people the wrong things. And so, it's a sad thing to see that happen. And so I do pray for those guys to have strength, because I know that they are going up against a lot of challenges, a lot of wickedness around them just because of the money and the fame. And I pray for their strength and their goodness. And I really do want them to live a pure life for their own goodness and also for those who watch. And I encourage you all to continue living a clean life. Anyways, thank you for that question, Saints. Carrying on, shout out to TJ2 Smooth. He writes, I'm currently organizing my affairs and routine for the next month. I sent a Cash App 2 lives ago and sent a super chat to the email. Would you be so kind as to offer perspective on it? Peace of the Saints. Bro, you're going to have to resend it. You're going to have to resend that. Send it to the email below right now. There's no way in hell I'm about to be able to fish that up. Just click resend right now. Shout out to Ricky. He writes, no question, just supporting. I appreciate you. Really do appreciate you, Ricky. And he's been supporting for a long time. Yeah, there's no way in hell I'll be able to pull that up. Shout out to Lord Geotron supporting the work. Appreciate you. And the whole bit about the smoking is not to degrade anyone or put anyone down. It's me saying, I love these guys. I want these guys to, or not, I have love for these guys. I want these guys to be happy and healthy and to be a good example and to stick to who they are. You know, sometimes we get among other people, we might lose a little bit of who we are. That's why we have a 3 sentence Bible. Number 1, be yourself. Number 2, be good to yourself. Number 3, be good to good people. Be yourself. Be who you are. If you don't smoke, don't smoke. If you don't drink, don't drink. Number 2, be good to yourself. You know, don't do things that hurt you. It's not worth any price. And then be good to good people. That's why I say be around good people. They're going to nourish you. You know, they're going to do the right thing. They're going to lead you in the correct direction. Your company is very important. Shout out to Chung supporting the work as well. Someone said I missed their super chat. I don't see one that I missed. If I did, if you could just remind me. Anyways, carrying on. I'm all about gaining good knowledge, but do not pursue new knowledge in a way that it saps you of exercising the good knowledge you already have. Like some of you guys doubt yourselves. You don't acknowledge that you do know the answer. You do know right from wrong. You do have good perspectives. You do have accurate instincts. Do not doubt yourself. Know that you have the goods. So pursuing new knowledge it can be good, but focus on how do I use the good information I already have. Don't split your attention too many ways. You can only do so many things. Also, rely on trusted persons. I'm not saying don't make new friends. Do make new friends. Do continue to grow your network. But ask yourself, do I already have a whole well of resources that I'm failing to properly utilize? Do I already have people around me who are intelligent, who are skilled, who have other people they can introduce me to? So I'm talking to a trusted person who can introduce me to another trusted person. Sometimes we go out and reach for new things when it's not necessary. I'll give you one major mistake I made. When I was going to get one of my cars wrapped, I told my assistant to find me a good place to wrap the car. She did all this research. She said, hey, these are the guys that we should use based on my research. So I used them, and I've been quite disappointed, honestly. My good friend Jabrizi, who's trusted, I trust him. He's a reliable guy. He lives life at a high level. I could have asked him, bro, who wrapped your car? It didn't even occur to me to ask him. I should have. Trusted people are a great resource to you, because he's going to give me an honest perspective. And if he's happy with his wrap, I know I'll be happy with mine because I know his standards are high. If you utilize trusted people in your life will be easier, more predictable. You'll be less susceptible to being cheated, lied to, and defrauded. So over rely on trusted people. Use them as a primary source. Saints, I'll give you some time to send in your comments, questions as we begin to wind down.